Closed captioning for sport fishing on the fly is brought to you by The Frog Boat. Inspired by nature, ingenious by design.
When it comes to rivers, a lot of people stick to their traditional patterns. The dry flies, the woolly buggers, the nymphs. They just don't think outside the box. And a good friend of mine, Dwayne D'Andrea, has developed a little pattern called the anti-static bag chironomid. He puts it on a sink tip line, just off the boat, controls the boat, and catches a lot of fish. So today, it's all about the anti-static bag chironomid on sport fishing on the fly.
Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you in part by Islander Reels, Precision Reels, and The Frog Boat, inspired by nature, ingenious by design, and Rio Products, specialists in fly lines, leaders, and tippet materials.
Oh, how's about that? Nice. And you're almost like, you're not trolling, but you're holding the rod. I'm just going to go down the rod. You got it out and right into that main flow with a sink tip.
Yeah.
So now that flies probably down about how far? Maybe a foot or so?
Maybe a foot. I would say about a foot. Yeah, you're right. Depends on the current, how strong it is. But today it's pretty. It's not right up there ripping it around, so it's down about a foot. And what I like to do is keep it straight line and just let it swing with the current.
And you're controlling the boat to get that proper swing, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm just using the oars. And it's like an extension of my line and rod. I'm just kind of subtly dipping the oars to keep it straight.
And what I'm finding too is this is a great method to use for beginners. So if beginners want to come out here and catch fish,
yeah,
because it does produce a lot of fish.
Oh, it's a great way to fish. And it's a good searching method.
It is, exactly. And what we're doing is going around the back eddy, and you can see the back eddy here. What we're doing is just waiting for the fish to start rising. Once these fish start coming up, of course, we're going to switch over to dry fly.
Yeah, we're out pretty early.
Yeah.
So why not? Why not give this a try? We'll set up our dry stuff while we're fishing like this, and we'll just wait it out. I know we're going to catch fish with this method.
We always have. Usually it's every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We're into fish, and we get some real nice rainbows, so we're going to show everybody that. We'll show you the patterns as we progress through the night, and everybody should see a whole variety of different patterns. That was no more than, what, 30 seconds after I turned the camera off.
Yeah, it was just right away. There, finally caught up to him.
How does he look?
I don't know. I don't think he's that big, but he's fighting. I think he's a little small.
Well, this Columbia is full of big fish. Everybody knows that.
It's just a little guy. That's a puny.
That's got to be the smallest fish I've ever seen in here.
Yeah, we don't get them too small. Much smaller than that.
Well, let's show everybody. I mean, that's just a baby for in here.
Maybe it's a little kokanee or something.
Oh, maybe.
Let's take a look.
Because we do have a lot of kokanee in this system.
Yeah. Fishing like
oh, that was a big boil there. They're
there?
starting to come up, yeah.
No, it's a little rainbow.
It's a little rainbow, is it? You sure?
Yeah. Yeah. Nice with the square tail.
Okay. He's just a baby, Dwayne. That's going to be the smallest fish I've ever caught in this river. Or seen caught.
Yeah, they...
Looks like a little kokanee. No, he's a little bow?
Yeah,
no, it's a little bow.
There he goes.
There he goes. Right away. So show everybody the fly you're using.
Okay.
While we're at it.
This is one of my favorite patterns this time of the year.
Yeah, just hold it up on your... yeah.
Oh.
On your hand there? That's good. Yeah, put it on your, there you go. What do you call that?
Well, I don't really have a name for it, but it is tied with at static free bag for the body.
Okay.
Just a little bit of peacock. There's nothing fancy about it.
It's like a little chironomid.
A little chironomid.
Oh,
Exactly.
you might have to work.
Yeah.
You got to worry out here too. These big suckles come down. There's one of them right there. And if the boat gets caught in there, it gets ugly. Pretty soon the fish will be coming right down this channel on dry fly, a little later on tonight. You can see it is big water out here, really big water.
Working up to the big one.
Hey, but these are the smallest fish I've seen in here.
Yeah, kind of picking up in the bed, in the center of the eddy. Yeah, they're not getting open farther. This time here. He'll come off. Touch him.
Oh, we're looking all right. No big suckle yet. Could be one building soon, though.
There he goes.
There he goes. Oh, no big suckles out here. So we're all right so far.
The wind's helping us over a bit.
Yeah.
Pushing us away.
Well, not a bad size, but hopefully get a bigger guy here pretty quick.
Yeah. That little pattern.
Yeah, it's killer.
2 on there already.
I might have to. I haven't even got my fly line out yet.
Yeah, you're still setting up. So if you're not paying attention, the fish can actually rip the rod out of the boat.
You don't have a rod holder, so you're holding it between your feet
Yeah.
as you're trying to catch it. Oh, that was a nice one too. And that, look at it way out there. Whoa, I can see it boiling out there. That's a nice sized fish. That's more like it.
Yeah, getting a little fatter. Now he's coming at us. I've got the small arbor reel. Jeez, it's hard to catch up to him sometimes.
How come you don't have one of those real nice Islander reels?
Well, I've got that for my dry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we don't have too many suckles around us right now. We're all right.
oh, looking good.
Yeah.
So we got the worst out of the water.
Yeah, we might go on a little bit of a whirl.
Yeah. Okay.
Boy, you really scream the line out.
Oh, did you ever?
Now look at the current he has to deal with though.
Well, I got the
You
curtains.
know, here's the big whirlpool we're gonna hit. And the fish is right out in this stuff.
I don't know how big this one is either.
I think it's pretty good size.
Right in that whirlpool. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
that was
chubby.
a nice size, little
He's
chubby
a
guy.
chubby. Come on.
A little smaller than average, but not bad.
Not bad.
Am I gonna have to roll us here
Well, I
pretty
don't
quick?
think so.
No? I know, we're quite a ways out here.
It's kicking in.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. It's going to kick us in.
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, and he just
popped
got
off
off
He
again.
wasn't paying attention.
Well, guess what? You're going to have to roll us because we're getting past the point of no return. And
Yeah.
what we mean by that is, here's the big back eddy. There's the start of it. There's all where we're fishing. And once we get past that point, we're down the river. We're off. We head down there. So.
He's not that big, but he sure is pulling.
Well, it's pretty early. You know, it's only 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So we just got out here, and all these little guys are eating right now. So maybe the big guys will feed a little later.
I hope so. We know they're here. We've been out earlier this year.
One thing that I gave you
He's
to
not
do
bad.
too
It's not bad, Don.
is show everybody,
About 18, 19.
show everybody that setup after.
Okay.
Once we get this guy in.
He's a sleeper.
Yeah, it's not a bad size.
Not too bad.
I can see him dancing down there, but
He's gone. I think he's just coming around
Tough
this side,
fish.
no? Yeah, look at that. There he comes up. Throw him off a little bit there. Look at this dig, eh?
okay, it's probably the average guy
Hey,
we're gonna get.
3 or so, yeah. Just don't want to horse him.
No.
Like you see, get everybody take a look at him. Gotta be patient. There he is.
briefly. Gee, what weight rod is that?
This is actually my spring rod, 8-weight rod.
8-weight.
There he is.
Oh.
I got the net right
There you got his head up.
Get the net lined up. Make him a little bit more. And we slide him in. This side of the door.
Took off again. Can see him flashing. Oh, yeah. Pretty fish.
You can show one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice looking fish. Not the biggest type of fish. That hook just popped out.
Good. I'll hold him up, see if you can hold him up for everybody. Because he does look nice. Okay, nice little chromer. What do you think that guy is? Like pound and a half, maybe 2 pounds max. Yeah. There he goes. One of the little guys again.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is get you to show everybody the setup now. We've gone through. Let's actually explain what the rig is a little bit.
Okay. Well, we already said it's an 8-weight rod. Mind you, you don't have to go with an 8-weight. It's just what happens to have going right now. But the biggest thing is your line. I'm just gonna stretch it over here.
Sure.
Here it is again. This is actually my whole spring setup with the Chironomid. So you get your floating line.
Yep.
Makes this transition. It's just the reel system.
Okay.
The loop. And I think it's the heaviest grain, whatever comes
So
with the reel.
type 6, type 8 type
Yeah.
grain?
Yeah, whatever that is. Might have shortened it a bit. It's down to, it looks like it's about 12.
That's what I find though, 10 to 12 feet is that ideal length. And all you're doing is trying to get down that foot or so.
Yeah.
Right, where the fish, because they're not really looking up a whole bunch up, but they're sitting up top.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Unreal. We should have a date stamp on this time stamp, because that was no more than a minute. You just got the line up.
Yeah, just got set up again, organized, casting.
Now what do you think? You think it's the depth or you think it's the pattern?
I think it's both.
Well, that's good fish.
Actually, more than anything, it could be the presentation. Just the dead drift going around.
Yeah, because you look at this big back eddy, and they're just sitting all on that top, top foot.
There's tons of food coming in here. And this is a little shimmer to it. I don't know if it's the fly or the... You're right.
Well, obviously that fly is the killer.
It is. It seems to fish really well.
And you called it the, what was the fly called again?
The anti-static Chironomid.
Yeah, anti-static chironomid, because you say you tie it with the anti-static bag.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah.
Killer pattern.
And with the combination of the sinking tip, look at that.
Oh yeah, nice fish.
You say it's early, we get some on the dries later.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of this fishery is we can go and fish this way with the sink tip and then go to the dry a little later and nice fish.
And we both like dry fly fishing, but this breaks it up.
Yeah.
This gets to see some fish.
Jeez. There he goes again.
That's what they're known for.
Multitasking. I love it. You gotta be able to multitask when you're a guide.
Yeah.
Some guide, you haven't even let me cast yet. You're catching all the fish.
Can't help it. Okay, he's coming in. I think I might get a good glimpse of him this time. Running along there.
Standing on the top. Yeah, keep his head up. He wants to go again. Definitely a nice size.
Yeah, that's what we're used to catching around here. Yeah. And bigger. Yeah. Multitask again. I'm going to get the net. Yeah, we're going to let you go. That looks a little heavier than the last one. That's the way you sploosh it around.
Oh, big fin over there. It just goes in the dry. Look at that guy, just focusing on.
Come on. You know, I'm getting...
Boy, he's tough though. That's what they are in the spring though. They're very tough fish.
You need to get patient. You want to get in.
Yeah. break them off. Another gorgeous rainbow on the rig. Very nice.
Rigger.
And we know it works. That anti-static chironomid with this rig, with that sink tip, was phenomenal this time of year. You know, mid-June.
Apartment soap. Nice. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, hold them up right in front of you for everybody. Oh, yeah. Nice fish. Yeah, gorgeous.
That's better.
That is. That's more like it. That's the average size. They're going to give you a good tussle no matter what you're using. And the water's still only 58 degrees, so it's prime for trout fishing right now. Good job. The fly we're going to tie you today is called the anti-static chironomid. It's a pattern that Dwayne D'Andrea developed for the early season fishing on the Columbia. And not only does it work well then, it works really good on our local lakes. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we're going to use a size 14 swimming nymph hook, some 8/0 black thread to tie with, a 1/8 black bead for the bead, some anti-static bag for the body, some fine copper wire for the rib, some white antron for the gills, and some peacock herl for the thorax. To start the fly off, I've already tied on my thread, and I'm going to take some white antron and tie it in for the gills right above the eyelet. So put it in, make it about, I'll say, 1/8 of an inch long, wrap it in right by the eyelet, and cut off your excess. So as you can see on the tie, I've actually tied in my gills, taken my bead, and the wide end of the bead I've put on the hook and moved the wide end towards the eyelet to cover up the gills. So now I have the bead on the hook, covering up the gills on the top, and I've retied in my thread. Now what we're going to do is take our anti-static bag and tie it in for the body. So we'll move our thread back to the bend of the hook and tie in our anti-static bag. The anti-static bag is tied in. Now we're going to take some copper wire and again tie it in, and this will be used to rib over the body once it's created. So tie it in right to the base. Now we have the bag in place and the ribbing in place. We're going to take our anti-static bag and rib it forward, again keeping the body nice and thin. Chironomids and midges have small, thin bodies. And just wrap it forward until we get up to the bead. The body's all tied in, so take your copper wire that we have sitting off the back of the hook and make about 5 to 6 ribs up the fly, right up to the bead. To finish the fly off, we want to cover up the thread that we've used to tie in all our body materials. We're going to take some peacock herl, tie it in right behind the bead, and take about 5 or 6 wraps and form a nice thorax on the fly. And there's the last step. Just done a quick whip finish on the fly. Now the one thing I mentioned before in the intro is this fly is especially good in the Columbia River in early season when the fish are feeding on midges, and it also does work very well in our local lakes.
Hammered it. Jeez, and when they hit, they almost pull the rod out of your hand, don't they?
Yep. Holy cow. That was scary. That scared me. 1 minute. Oh, look at the line here. It's coming right towards the boat. She's not happy. Oh, no way. Oh, different rods. Oh, that's a nice fish. There he is. Oh, gee. Not a bad fish. Look at how fat they are. There's that flake. Look at how easy that. I mean, barbless. It just comes out like nothing. I'll hold this little chubby guy up. Gotta get my hands wet first. There he is there. Nice little fat guy. Again, not huge, but great fighting fish. Let him go. Good way to finish up the night. Getting a little late, eh, Dwayne? It's been a long day.
Yeah, you're tired. Oh. Pound for pound, though, they're strong, aren't they?
They are awesome fish, and the casts are just starting to come out. But you know, it's about 8 o'clock. We're done. We've been out since 3 in the afternoon. We've been fishing all day. We've caught a ton of fish. It's been just a great day. And that method you showed us, I want to thank you again. That was awesome. And I think it's really good for beginners too. Like if you're ever a beginner and you want to come out here and do that, that's what you got to do. You come out, use the rig, use that fly we showed you. You can just sit there. You don't have to worry about casting. It's great for beginners. Yeah, I got my eagle reel too. Islander, what is this one? Oh yeah, 3.4. This one's a sweet reel too. All right, let's get this net ready. Show everybody this guy. Kind of our finishing off fly. Get him up. Again, this river cycles. You'll get some big guys coming through certain holes. You get some little guys coming through. But these fish, you know, these 2 pound, 3 pound fish, they fight for all they're worth. It's fantastic. Yeah, this guy's just a nice little guy again. Oh man, he's tough. Gotta be ready. I gotta get his head out of the water. There it is. Very good snap. Look at that, a little fish like that on a 6-way rod in this big current, and it just takes forever to get in. Look at this. Can't get his head out of the water. A little guy like that. Yeah. Just imagine how tough those big ones are. Okay, the top snout. There he is, just a little baby. Look at this little guy. Look at that. Fought just great. Little fish like that, and just fought excellent. They're all just chrome bullets in here. And there he goes. Excellent day on the water.
It was an excellent day.
It was, and you know what, that pattern that you showed us?
Yeah.
Really good little chironomid pattern. Not only good for the river out here, but really good for lakes. And you were also saying the techniques. We mentioned it earlier in the show. It's very good for beginners.
It is. Just for the simple reason there's not a lot of casting involved if you're just a beginner caster. And it's nice to be able to get them on the reel and feel the fish.
And that's what beginners need. They need to actually feel that fish, get the confidence of fighting it, and then learn to cast after. So again, give Dwayne a call, Mountain Valley Sport Fishing, or actually look up on our website. Dwayne's on there, the number's everywhere, and it's very good for him to take you out and to learn this technique. So when you're out here, take care. Conserve our waters because it is big water out here. And we'll see you next time when we take you sport fishing on the fly. To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one shown, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.